leads us to the third preference pair, thinking and feeling. Now, I know that I'm a thinking type. I look at the world in a logical way. People come to me with a problem. I want to get to the bottom line and help them solve it now. But I realize there are some people, when they come to me, they just want me to stop and listen and support them. Well, I've learned that I need to sort of step back and ask people, at least I remember this some of the time, do you want me just to listen or do you want me to help solve the problem? Because then I don't get so annoyed if they don't take my advice. So in this decision-making system, thinking types step back from the decision. They look at the data that they have, information that they have in an objective way. They look at the pros, they look at the cons, they make their decision. But feeling types step into the decision. They become aware of how is this going to impact people? How does this fit with my value system? And they're looking for harmony with their value system. Now, you've probably already figured out here that feeling does not mean making decisions based on emotions. There is a structured way of using the values and the harmony. So if we think about the definition of being fair, we may see some different things. For thinking types, being fair means treating everyone according to the same standards. We're treating people equally. For feeling types, being fair means treating everyone according to what they need. Individuals are different. They need different things. Now, I want to do another little experiment with you that I sometimes do with my training groups. And let's say you're working on a project. This hand represents completing the project. This hand represents I'm starting, I'm partway through, and I'm done. So I typically ask thinking types, tell me when you want someone to give you some appreciation or recognition for your work on that project. And my hand will move along, and finally when I get to the end, to finish the project, they will say now. And I'll ask them, so what happens if someone gives you some recognition earlier in that work? And they say, well, I'm a little worried. I think I'm working for an idiot. They have no sense of standards at what is good work. Okay? Now, I ask feeling types the same thing. When do you want recognition on that project? And they call out now, 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 all the way through. So what does that look like? I'm a thinking type. I'm waiting till I'm done. And they say, well, it can be things like good start. Or, gee, you have some great ideas here. And then I ask the feeling type, so what happens if someone gives you some recognition, if they wait until the end? And they say, well, I think that they don't care. And if they don't care about me, they don't care about my work. And it affects my morale. Now, both thinking types and feeling types can come to the exact same conclusions. They just do it in different ways. And it's really helpful for thinking types to remember to always ask, how would this logically impact people? And for feeling types to always ask, what's the most important thing here? But we need to move on. Our last one has to do with how we like to go about living our lives. And our words are judging and perceiving in these preference pairs. And judging here doesn't mean judgmental. But what judging types like to do is organize things, make decisions, get on with it. And perceiving types like to kind of go with the flow and be spontaneous and continue gathering information. So I'll admit I'm a judging type. I love to make lists. I love to check off things from the list, and I've even been known to put things on the list I've already done for the sheer joy of checking them off. True confessions. Okay. Now, I happen to live with a man who prefers perceiving. He thinks I'm nuts. His life is about options. It's about going with the flow. So you can imagine what happens when we go to a Chinese restaurant. I'm making my decisions. Judging is about let's make a decision and get on with it. and he's looking over the menu, looking at what other people have, trying to decide what is he gonna have that's perhaps new and different, and I'm getting hungry. But for perceiving types, it's no decision before it's time. So